Welcome back to the Cool FAB British Minibikes Championship here at Welter Mill. It's the Minimoto Elite Class up next. Let's have a look at the grid positions. Casey O'Gorman trying to tie up his third championship this year. He's the championship leader going off pole. Off P2, the man who started the season on fire. 12 podiums, 4 wins for Bailey Stewart Campbell. Trying to bring the Dunsley heat to the front two will be Josh Bannister going off P3. See what I did there, Josh? Off P4, it's Ryan Hitchcock, riding the 43 bike, 4 podiums this year. Mason Foster comes next, apparently riding an air-cooled bike rather than the liquid-cooled machine. Manuel Brinton goes off P6 with 6 podiums and 1 race win, so a little bit out of position for the 9-year-old. Then comes Sullivan Mountsie, likewise, 3 podiums this year. Ever Belford definitely out of position, down there on P8 with 2 race wins. Then James Cook, he goes off P9, 3 podiums this year for the man riding the 144 bike. Johnny Garness broke his collarbone in this class at Red Lodge. He goes off P10. From Kelso, the Scotsman, is Troy Jeffrey, the 9-year-old riding the 21 bike. Then comes Luca Hopkins riding the 41 machine. Joe Farragher will go off P13, 16 in this one. The Dude comes next. It's Clayton EDMUNDS, the 8-year-old from Uxbridge. Then Jamie Woodcock going off P15. The 12-year-old from Northwich, and rounding out the grid, it's Holly Harris in what I think is her first Minimoto race for a while.
Early disaster as well for Josh Bannister. He has pulled off at Inkermans on the warm-up lap, so he is not going to take up that 3rd position spot. This is a disaster for Bannister, but it's heaven sent for the 2 men on the front row, O'Gorman and Bailey Stewart Campbell. It's 1 less rider to compete with for the victory as they get away through Oblivion, through Crook, and the field already jostling nicely for position. Look at Casey O'Gorman, blasts away.
Unreal, that is unreal. Just 50 metres into the race, he had an 8 to 10 bike lead.
Well, Bailey Stewart Campbell second from Hitchcock. Brinton, look in the background at Inkermans. There is a very disgruntled Josh Bannister, not able to compete in the race at all as a result of that breakdown. What a disaster for Bannister, but the battle for second place is now alive and kicking. Bailey Stewart Campbell in front of Hitchcock, Brinton, Foster and Mountsie in there as well with Belford and Garness, and they'll jostle for position, changing it up as they come into the braking zone. That is Mountsie defending from the 88 of Mason Foster, having already got through, so a good run there from Mountsie. They come off the toe of the boot into the final turn. Bailey Stewart Campbell down and into the wall.
Crashes out from second place. Bailey Stewart Campbell was trying to hold on to the back.
Look at the frustration. Bailey Stewart Campbell.
He's trying to bang the handlebars back into place. This is a character that these kids have. He's not moaning about it. He's bounced straight back up. He's banging the handlebars back into shape so he can start racing again. And again, as we've said before, showing a huge amount of character as we pick out Emmanuel Brinton there, Jake.
Yep, he's battling for 4th with James Cook, who won the earlier Mini GP 50 race, of course. And Foster, who's got Belford diving up the inside. Belford goes through and straight back again, Mason Foster. He had the move on the inside and Foster cuts straight back across and takes the lead of that particular battle right back. Belford dives back for the inside. Johnny Garness watching it all unfold as the second place battle is now incredibly Hitchcock versus Mountsie. Sullivan Mountsie had a fantastic first lap to charge his way forward. He was in the mix of that top 5, Sullivan Mountsie, but to be right there in that position in 3rd, he started, you can see on the screen, in P6. He is now up to 3rd. What a start to this race from Sullivan Mountsie. One of the best first laps you could ever hope for in Minimoto Elite. He's done an absolutely sensational job.
Yeah, amazing stuff from Sullivan Mountsie. And he's putting the man in front of him under severe pressure now. It's been a good day for Ryan Hitchcock so far today, I have to say. In this class and the other classes he's been in that we've seen him.
Yeah, he's never been outside the top 5 all day, really, has he? He's been right up at the sharp end. And it's weekends like this where you suddenly find yourself in the top 5, in a good position on a circuit you like in every class, that's really massive in terms of character building.
Yeah.
It gives you that extra burst of confidence that you can take into every round of the championship.
Yeah, you're not kidding there. So it is Hitchcock in second place, then obviously benefiting from the Bailey Stewart Campbell crash in the final turn.
And Stuart Campbell is still going, I should point out. He has got the bike going again. He's managed to get past Holly Harris, so he's up into 14th place. But crucially, that is a big moment in the championship fight, because Bailey Stewart Campbell could not really afford to lose a massive quantity of points to Casey O'Gorman at this stage of the championship. He could potentially, if things keep going Casey's way this weekend, tie up the title today.
Yeah, indeed. I think he probably will with that crash. I think that's going to be huge. That's going to have a big impact on the championship. Here's the rest of the field coming towards us. That looks like Clayton EDMUNDS.
Behind him is Hopkins from Jeffrey, Farragher, Woodcock, Bailey Stewart Campbell 14th now, as we mentioned, in front of Holly Harris. Here comes James Cook in behind Emmanuel Brinton. But look at these guys, 4th, 5th and 6th. They're closing up on the Hitchcock-Mountsie battle for second. So this could end up being a 5-way scrap for second, as Hitchcock is proving to be a bit of a cork in the bottle. We've lost somebody. Yellow flag is out. I think Jamie Woodcock, Luca Hopkins, I think, has gone down. So Luca Hopkins, I think, is out of the race here, unfortunately. And certainly as off the road at the moment, as Hitchcock again squabbles to try and keep Mountsie at bay. Harris has promoted up to 14th, so yes, Hopkins has gone from the fray. Mountsie tries to go down the inside of Hitchcock. Hitchcock hangs on in there. Brinton is ever closer now in 4th from Cook and Foster. Belford is not a million miles away either. It is a 6-bike scrap for second place. If only Casey O'Gorman wasn't there, this would be for the win.
What a battle this is. Fantastic racing. Hope you're enjoying this at home. Don't forget to click that like button, by the way, and subscribe. That was Bailey Stewart Campbell, so we can see he is still running, but this is the scrap on the track. Hitchcock in second from Mountsie there in third on the blue and white machine. Then Brinton just in behind. James Cook we saw earlier winning the Mini GP 50 race. And then Mason Foster is on an air-cooled bike. And in behind Foster, Evan Belford. We're not sure who has liquid-cooled bikes and air-cooled bikes. We don't have that information. Now, the air-cooled bikes, you can run those without any restrictor whatsoever to try and get the performance on a par. But as I understand it, from those that know, the liquid-cooled machines should be quicker, even with that trim. But Mason Foster doing well to hang on to the group in front.
Hopkins has pulled off his bike at the entry to Inkermans, so that's where he has parked it. That's about the same place Bannister broke down on the first lap, of course. We just watched Troy Jeffrey being caught by Bailey Stewart Campbell, who has technically got enough time to break back into the top 10 before this race is over. We've got 3 to go, including this one. And the current pace Bailey Stewart Campbell is setting, he is going to catch Troy Jeffrey. Will he pass him in time? That's the big one. And then he could do the same thing to Joe Farragher and get himself back into the top 10. There is time to do it with 3 laps to go, but he's under pressure now to break himself back into that top 10. Meanwhile, these guys, if anything happens to these, then he could pick up another couple of places just from these chaps.
It's amazing.
Oh, Mountsie through!
Sullivan Mountsie.
Oh, what a move. That was absolutely stellar. He made it to the last possible moment. He caught Hitchcock out in the braking zone. Mountsie committed to the move at the last possible second and grabbed second place off Hitchcock. That's given Brinton and Cook a bit of a hope as well.
Casey O'Gorman, take him out of the equation. He's 8.5 seconds up the road. That's a ridiculous lead, by the way, in this class. When you're looking at the quality of riders we've got in this group, imagine if he wasn't in the race, this would be the battle effectively for the lead.
Looks like Hopkins is trying to get the bike started again and go back out to get the last 2 laps completed. But you're right, this is the same class, Minimoto Elite. They're all the same sort of elite of riders. And Casey O'Gorman, it's like he's on a Mini GP 50 bike. He's just disappeared.
We don't know. We don't have the information on who's got a liquid-cooled bike and who hasn't. But in any case, this is a fantastic battle anyway. O'Gorman's already gone through the line. He's got the last lap flag as they went through the line. These guys will get the last lap flag now.
I'm keeping an eye on Brinton on this lap. He looks really motivated behind Ryan Hitchcock in third. So I have a feeling that Brinton may get the best chance. O'Gorman's best lap of 54.4. That's the fastest lap of the race. But Brinton looking particularly confident behind Hitchcock. He looks like he may get a charge for third position. But Hitchcock is too busy focusing on Mountsie. He may not even see Brinton coming up towards Ashby. Brinton tries. Now Mountsie has got enough speed and pace on Hitchcock, because Hitchcock is now focusing again on Brinton behind him. He realised he was there and cut across in the braking zone. Brinton tries again into Osiers, and he's still got space. He's still got time. Mountsie's getting away as Casey O'Gorman is going to take the victory out in front. Dominant again from O'Gorman in what is potentially his title-winning weekend in Minimoto Pro Elite. But Mountsie is going to hang on a second from Hitchcock, Brinton, Cook, Belford, Foster. What an amazing race for second place. Mountsie, Hitchcock, Brinton, Cook, Belford and Foster at the line. Garnis through in 8th in front of Clayton EDMUNDS. Where's Bailey Stewart Campbell? He's obviously been trying to close in on the likes of Edmunds, Farragher. He is going to get to 9th. Here he is out of the final turn. There he is. He fought back valiantly there to 9th place, but with Casey O'Gorman out in front taking the victory, that obviously has compromised his weekend. And as it would emerge, Casey O'Gorman in that sort of fighting form was never going to be beaten in the second race. And with a third race victory as well, it makes Casey O'Gorman the Minimoto Elite Champion of 2018. It's still tight for second. Bailey Stewart Campbell and Emmanuel Brinton just 14 points apart, with Ryan Hitchcock and Sullivan Mountsie in the top 5. Next up is Mini GP 70, a third title for O'Gorman.